case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for.
In 1942, the Supreme Court of the United States heard overnight motor transportation company v. Missel, a case that dealt with the payment of overtime to employees who work more than 40 hours in a work week. This case also involved requirements for properly calculating an employee's regular rate of pay and the possibility of liquidated damages as compensation for underpaid wages. The dispute arose from the overnight motor transportation company's failure to pay additional payment for overtime to an employee who worked irregular hours for a fixed weekly wage. The Circuit Court of Appeals determined that this practice violated the Fair Labor Standards Act, which mandates extra pay for overtime work. Despite the petitioner's argument that their contract complied with the law by paying the employee for all hours worked, not just their base pay, the lower court insisted that the liquidated damages provision of the Act was mandatory. The Supreme Court upheld the Circuit Court's decision and ordered a hearing in the trial court to determine the amounts due to the employee. The petitioner's claims that the private right to contract should be restricted only by the minimum wage schedule and that a contrary interpretation would render the Act unconstitutional were dismissed. Ultimately, the court ruled that the overnight motor transportation company had violated the Fair Labor Standards Act by not paying the employee for all hours worked. The Section 13(b)(1) exemption was found to be inapplicable, and liquidated damages were declared mandatory for underpaid wages. The employer could not shift the burden of paying the minimum wage to the employee.
Case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for. Visit lsd.law, elevate your mind. Leave the stress of class.